What's up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and as you might be able to tell from my voice right now, I'm a little nasally, I'm a little bit sick, but I wanted to present the games that I played from day one of the creator Gauntlet. The top 12 players from the NA portion of this event will advance onto the top 32 next weekend, and this is the deck list that I played for most of the rounds. You're allowed to change your deck as you see fit between any of the rounds. It's a closed deck list format, and most of this probably looks pretty straightforward. It's just Arishem, and I'm playing a bunch of Arishem cards, which includes card generation, some tech, and also War Machine. I think that War Machine is actually playable in Arishem, and I've brought this up recently, but I think it's playable for two reasons. One, I mean, people are just used to playing like Jeff the Baby Land Shark in your Arishem and Thanos decks, and War Machine is just a bigger Jeff, and this deck can afford to play a bigger Jeff because you have the extra energy from Arishem's start of the game ability. Also, there is a pretty popular deck going around right now that tries to Storm and then Legion to storm all three locations while having a War Machine in play. And if you have Legion, you can stop that combo, but also if you have War Machine, you can just not care that your opponent does that combo. So I wanted to have a War Machine myself for a little bit more tech around that. At one point, I was also trying Storm in the deck as well and just playing the full combo myself, but it's a little bit too irrelevant, I will say, in an Arishem deck. It never came up in any of the games that I played with it. So I cut the Storm for some more typical Arishem cards. I did bring up in, I want to say Thursday's video when the OTA came out, I covered a deck that included Emperor Hulkling in Arishem and talked about how Arishem just gives your opponents less information than you have. That was a big deciding factor in me playing Arishem in this event. And also, Nick Fury is kind of like my Emperor Hulkling. It gives you a bunch of cards that cost 6, and I feel like it's just a little bit more consistent than Emperor Hulkling because you then have multiple options of 6 cost cards to play. But that kind of theory from Ororong that I talked about in Thursday's video definitely pushed me down the path of just wanting to play Arishem, and here's how it went for me.
I'm gonna lose my black cat turn 1, but that's fine. Okay, a little chimichanga. Ooh, we copied the Infinite, so they are on War Machine, so I am glad that I played that. I might as well play the copycat this turn, because I won't be able to play it on future turns, or I just play Agent Coulson. Don't worry about it, I've got enough other 3s. I'd like to maybe find War Machine or Legion off of this, which is part of the reason to go for it. TVA. They think they're good in a TVA game. Or they're planning on storming the TVA. They're planning on storming the TVA. I might be boned. I'll just put this here then. Yeah, that's a storm. Yep. Okay, so they have the combo. Probably. So I need to draw War Machine by next turn. Or just play Brood and Luke Cage. Let's see. Okay, they don't have War Machine. At least not yet. Oh, Chimichanga. They do have War Machine. Okay, they're just not committing. Over in the stormed location. Fair enough. Fair enough. So if they have Legion here, I'm boned, right? There's nothing I can do about that. I can just hope they don't have it. Yeah, let's hope they don't have it for a moment. Yeah, I mean, they snapped, so I figured they probably did have it. Yeah, let's skedaddle. Don't have anything for Cull. So, I suppose I just have to Craven. Playing Psylocke on a later turn is the idea. White Widow into Jotunheim seems pretty good, because they don't really want to play there. They might storm it later, but... or fill it up. Alright, if I play Psylocke this turn, I can play Blob into Shuri's Lab next turn. It's at least something. Doesn't seem that good. Is this the storm into Jotunheim so they can clear the kiss? Yeah. This is probably still reasonable. It makes them have the combo. They haven't snapped yet. Okay, yeah, War Machine and Shuri's makes a lot of sense. Let's see if they have the full combo. Still no snap. They could put some pressure on just by snapping here. Discard an odd cost of cards, so it always discards Arishem. That's fine. If Cable generates a 1-cost card, like if it gives me Nebula, then I can play Cull Obsidian into Shuri's Lab. Otherwise, they're probably just going to Infinite me in the flooded location, which does win already. Oh, I steal their Infinite. That's interesting. Oh, and they are playing the move variant with the Infinite. But that's not big enough to beat Blob, so they're going to have to commit to this location again. Meanwhile, I don't get to play anything good. All I can do is play Mockingbird into Shuri's Lab. They can easily win the flooded location. Hellfire Club is like, meh. They probably aren't running Shang-Chi though, so I'm just assuming they'll go for Shuri's Lab and flooded location. I mean, here I'm up by 4, here I'm up by 5, so this is an easier location to win, but it's the only one I can play for. Okay, a retreat. 1 cube. That's not bad. Not bad at all. And eventually we'll draw this War Machine and totally tech them out on a game where they've snapped. I could get a cheaper War Machine this game. It's kind of cute. I mean, you definitely play the turn 1 Zabu, always. I actually don't mind the Rock because I've got Blue Marvel, but we'll make them battle for it as well. Alright, they are not battling for Eternity range just yet. Oh, that's a bummer. Hopefully we draw something cheap then. That is not something cheap. But Blue Marvel plus Ultron is a game winner against the combo, potentially. Like, they could combo Legion lock me out on turn 5 and I drop Ultron so that I'm, like, winning a bunch of locations regardless. Dagger for nada. Aranya nada. As I do not play into Black Vortex, so this is just a 50-50 RNG location, but I'm drawing big over here. Dang. I mean, I don't think their draw is impressive either. A snap is certainly a lot of pressure, but unfortunately I just don't have the pressure otherwise to really capitalize on that. We're gonna get a Rock. And now I can play Blue Marvel plus Ultron
like both here. It doesn't seem like... I mean, they could still Storm Legion this turn with Madam Web. I'm just going to have to hope to draw something cheap for Black Vortex. Maybe alongside the Vulture or something. Go like Blob, Abomination. Sure. I could shuffle some Vibranium into my deck so that I can draw something cheap to play alongside the Blob or Ultron. That might be my best bet here. Okay, they move over Ghost Spider. They also trigger the Black Vortex for themselves, getting a Thanos. Still definitely beatable, but strong, for sure. This turn I could rock Enchantress, Black Vortex. Setting up next turn for Ultron, Blob. Dagger probably moves over to contest Abomination. But I think we snap here. I think this is enough pressure with the Ultron as a potential follow-up next turn. I think Pulse is also just going to be a little bit afraid of snaps. No, they go for Legion, so I don't get any Black Vortex value, but we do take out their Madam Web. So I now have to battle for this location and this location this turn. Ultron does tie. No, it doesn't. Well, playing Ultron in either location ties it. And then we have to hope they're like going for this location and the additional stats, but like I can put this to 15. I mean, if they don't play for this location, then Blob just wins the game. And Blob is like the easiest card for them to play around here. They could play around Blob with an Alioth, but that's a 50-50. I feel like rather than taking a 50-50, but it is a little bit more likely that I'd play here. So I could just go Blob here and call it a day. But this is the play that's speaking to me. It beats them playing in this location, which I think also makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's where they went for. They went for the Alioth over there. Ultron wins in Eternity range, and the drones take him out in the second spot. Nice. Nice. So we know their whole deck list now. They did have Alioth, but up 5 cubes to 8 is feeling good. Okay, Elektra, but they aren't playing Human Torch. Right. Wave is good. Wave I can play next turn, and I get value out of it, and they don't. Do I want to drop Elektra because I'm playing Nick Fury? No, I'll try to Elektra Aranya if they play it. They don't. Another random 3. Wow. Okay, we're playing 3-ball then. I really have to play Wave. Wait, they do not have Thanos in their deck. I still don't know about one of their cards then. That's funny. What is it? Vulture. I'm not sure. It could still be Torch. Let's just play Agent Coulson here. It means that I'm denied a draw. But I think it's worth playing out. Okay, it gives me Nick Fury. Kind of a punish for not playing the Elektra then. Play it, generate 1/6. I'm not super excited by it. Or I could just... could just play an Elektra, but they have priority. No, I'm still going to try to Elektra Aranya. This could be Aranya. Doesn't seem super exciting. Polaris, that's from Camp Lehigh.
Black Panther could be copied by Taskmaster. I don't know. None of that is super exciting either. They don't have a good curve, so I could just snap for the pressure of them not having a good curve. They're continuing to not play into Madam. There's the Aranya, so we're going to snipe that here, even though they are just going to activate it this turn. This at least closes the window on them a little bit. What if they have Human Torch as their last card? I guess I could wait and see if they have Human Torch. I don't really want to wave and give them a cheap Alioth. But if next turn my plan is Sabertooth, Silver Surfer, Electra, or Silver Surfer, Mockingbird, Electra, yeah, that'll actually be a little bit better. Then I might as well start to play out some threes. They did not activate Aranya. Oh, did they play Legion here? This is a wild Legion, if so, but what else could they... Oh, no, they did activate Aranya. It just didn't happen for me. Oh, but... Yeah, that means they're really getting no value here on anything. So I have priority, which means Negasonic is pretty hype. I really can just play one thing plus Silver Surfer, though. If Silver Surfer's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's 8 points. It's probably better than Negasonic. If I just do this, this. If they have 16 power here, I'm looking at 15, 17. Yeah. So I beat Legion moving into any location. Here's a tie with Legion. Let's try it. For 1 cube. They might have Silver Surfer too. With how many Camp Lehighs came out this game? This definitely would have been an insane game to draw Quinjet. What do they have? I think we put out enough points here. I think this is just points. I like that they played to this location. Oh, a second Iron Fist plus Dagger, moving it, excuse me, moving it to the totally wrong location there. Oh, but then it comes over here. Oh no, do I lose to this? I do. I do. That is a huge final turn Dagger. Wow. Wow. Dang. Okay. So now we're only up like 1 cube. Definitely just going to dump out my hand so that if I draw Nick Fury this game, we can actually get some value. Okay, they're going to need to storm this location because otherwise I'm going to get to play a Blob there and win. So do I just like play Agent Coulson here preemptively? No, because they're going to storm it next turn, so I think I'm fine no matter what. So do I snap here? They now have 2 locations that they kind of need to storm. Yeah, that's a 2 free cubes. 3 to 6. Feeling good. Have not drawn the War Machine tech yet. That's going to feel so good if I ever draw it. If I never draw it, then I'm going to feel silly for having even played it. They lose Ghost Spider. I lose Gamora. Cool, cool, cool. To lose a non-native card is good. Shanna, Scarlet Spider might be a better curve than just playing Coulson here. Monster Island's good because I'm running Shang-Chi. They are not. Agent Venom feels like it kind of hurts me. They're making this a 3-cuber. I don't love anything that I have so far. Do we retreat, go down to 4 cubes? I guess so. If I had Shang-Chi there, I stay in it because that's just a really high-tempo play. White Widow, Star-Lord, Howard. Not excited by the Howard, but the rest of this stuff seems kind of cool. And the fact that we have Legion means we can't get comboed out here either. So that's some nice incentive. Do we snap? Make this the final game? I think not yet. But I'll kick off with a White Widow over here. Alrighty. And Eternity Range. I think I'll just continue to curve out here with Mobius. Legion plus Alioth does give me a lot of tools here. I don't know, I'm just not in love with the locations just yet. If I find Quinjet, then I can Legion Nova Roma. Oh, that's a bummer. Dang, well, I'm glad I didn't snap then. Suppose I'll just add a bunch of 6s into my deck for the late game. Maybe they will storm Attilan here, though. Yeah, that's a very real possibility, too, isn't it? No, no storm. They're playing for the Rock. Null, Spectrum, and Hellcarrier are all pretty terrible. So, would have preferred those not in my deck, but what can you do? Let's take another look and see if we can find anything a little bit better. They need to play Madam Web into Eternity Range here. Or they're looking pretty awkward. I mean, there's a chance they just drew it there. But I think this is all I can do. This does set me up to play a 6 next turn. They're playing something over into Attilan. That's going to be a War Machine, setting up for a big Infinite. So we could play Leader next turn and try to grab their Infinite. With priority, that could be pretty good. This gives Mobius a little bit more power. We also have Warpath plus Agent Coulson if I want to battle for 2 locations, but I think I just play this. I think their plays have been so lackluster to this point that we probably could snap. This might cause a retreat, or if they don't retreat, then I'm a little bit more scared. Okay, they accept it, and this has to be a Madam Web center, right? Oh no, it's an Iron Fist plus a dagger. Okay. But I still have priority on every location. Okay, well now not every location, but I could just battle for Eternity Range, and then what can they possibly do? So if their plan here is to just play Infinite in one of these 3 locations, or one of these 2 locations, I don't really even see a play from them that's better than that. They could still Ghost Spider the dagger, right? Ghost Spider the dagger here. And then play Legion here, ties it. So I don't see how this loses. Is this just Infinite? Yep, that won't do it. All right, 3 cubes and GG, Pulse Glazer. Whew, this is the best deck right now. I teched for it, but never drew my tech except for the one time Adelon took it away. But that was sweaty, and that is the start to our tournament. Let's go, baby. I don't hate the Ultron for the same potential it was maybe usable in the last match. It's just a turn 5 filler up. That's a little bit awkward. Next turn I could have 5 energy though if I'm winning Castle Blackstone. That's huge. That just allows me to Gamora on turn 3. It feels like it's worth losing my Shadow King for. Cool. So now they basically have to play here, at which point Gamora hits. Oh, please don't lose Gamora. Okay, thank goodness. That was my worst card. They lost Sebastian Shaw. It's not as big as losing their Silver Surfer, but I don't have Cosmo. Sokovia Legion could be cool. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm thinking this might be like a Brood or something, but I'm going to let it play out here. I'm not going to snap back. Yeah, it looks like it is probably a Brood. Nice. So we get to keep the extra energy flowing. We could play Ultron, but that's a pretty big game. I think War Machine continues to have us win in Castle Blackstone and then play something like a Quinjet. I mean, they're never battling for Blackstone here. Right? Because they don't have Sebastian. They're not going to play Silver Surfer just yet. Just debating if I want to use this War Machine, but I think it's fine. I think just curving out here is nice. Absorbing Man for some more Broodlings. Okay. Silver Surfer remains the card to worry about. If I want to play Scarlet Spider, it's got to be right now. If I want to activate it. I feel like I probably do. But I could see just going Arishem and then playing Ultron here into some nice stats. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to win 3 locations. I just have to win 2. So maybe I just play Arishem. Do I snap? A snap is pretty risky. They can get up to 12 here. Let's say they play... If they don't have Wong, then I think I'll be snapping. This could be Wong. Ooh, it's Nova plus Killmonger to destroy my Quinjet. Okay. A bit of a bummer, but it does mean now that I don't have to worry about the Killmonger destroying my drones. So that's pretty nice. Silver Surfer is another plus 6 here. Yeah, plus 6 to 15. So if they play one more 3... How do they beat Ultron in Sokovia? How do they beat Alioth anywhere? 13, they would need 9 power in Sokovia, which would mean Silver Surfer plus, like, Sebastian. That's what I can't get over. If they have Iron, I feel like we're good. I feel like we're good to snap here, and I don't know what I'm playing here yet, but I think a snap should just cause a retreat. Is this enough? No, wait.
Play it, please. Okay. Whew. That was close. One card in each location. No way they have Shang-Chi or Shadow King, right? Oh, Cassandra! Cassandra! Wow! That was so close. Ah, Cassandra, I did not think about. We got their Sebastian Shaw. Dang. Dang. Well, I was losing if I played Alioth there also. Unfortunate. All right, well, that makes the snap make a lot of sense. We really got a battle here now. Dang. All right, I guess this time I'll save the Shadow King. It doesn't really matter if they are able to toss priority, though. Yeah, that's fine. Killmonger for the Quinjet is also a pretty big deal against me. War Machine's good. If I can draw the War Machine, I think I just run out the Shadow King. Ah, no, that's so bad. Because I won't even draw off the Abbey. So I'll just play this. They're going to beat me in the Abbey to a card draw. Oh, Utopia is so insane for them, too. So I need to find War Machine this game. Which means I can't play Nick Fury, because that denies me a card draw. I do have Alioth. Do I ever just Shadow King here preemptively? No, I just have to draw War Machine. Okay, they didn't draw from the Abbey. Huh. I think I'm just donezo. I mean, I could win Sanctum Sanctorum. So if I can Blob next turn, is this ever worth it? Blob into Legion plus Jeff on the final turn? So let's just run this out then. Huh. There's also not, like, I'm not getting a discounted Mockingbird here because I didn't play the Jeff, but I think the surprise of Jeff, I mean, maybe I should have just run the Jeff out because there's no more cubes at stake here. So getting a surprise win doesn't even help me. So yeah, I probably should have run the Jeff out there already. We're going for a big old Gwen. So if they have Sebastian or Cassandra into Utopia, both of those are pretty interesting. I cannot battle for this location. So really the only thing that I can do is try to put out as much points as possible. I mean, it puts me up to 30. It's a pretty considerable amount of points. I think that we probably lose to Cassandra here. It's for actually, I think we beat Cassandra now. I lose to Cassandra Silver Surfer depending on how many pumps they've put on to Cassandra. I think we found it out here though.
Who they dig up this time?
Show me what you got. Oh, it's Shadow King plus Cassandra. Okay, well, luckily we still put enough stats here that we were good. The Shadow King is definitely really good to know about as well. Means that we cannot freely blob, but we still have to win the next 4 games just straight up against a Cassandra Nova deck. Colleen can discard Blob or Alioth. Doesn't seem great for me. And this start seems reasonable for them. Okay. Well, I don't want to discard Shang-Chi either. I guess we'll be trying to go Colleen plus Shang on the final turn. Dang, I thought the problem with this deck was going to be drawing too many cheap things, but I've just been drawing too many expensive things sometimes. Howard here, I mean, could just have the Killmonger pretty soon. I guess if I'm afraid of Killmonger, then I might as well just play Colleen. I think the plan is to Shang-Chi the Sebastian Shaw on the final turn. And I'd, I guess, like to play Mockingbird and Howard alongside that. Seems tough to get there, but we'll try. Yeah, I'm still going to need to battle for this location because... Oh, that's right. I'm discarding the Howard here. That's right, that's right. This opens me up to Shadow King, but I just am not sure that I have any other options. Absorbing Man on Gwen. I love that line.
All systems go.
So even if I Shang-Chi in Stark Tower, I'm still losing by a considerable amount. I feel like awkwardly this is like my only play. Hope that they just have straight nothing. But more than likely, I am losing. Yeah, if I go up to 9 here, I'm still losing this location tremendously. So all I can do is hope that 10 power is somehow interesting in Lake Hellas. I wish I had the Howard here. Alright. GG. Yeah, Shadow King, they have it all. We lose every location. Yeah, not my best performance for sure. All right, are we gonna see our first Arishem mirror matchup here? Indeed, indeed. Thought we might. I didn't feel like teching against that specifically. I guess I could have put a Cassandra in, but I'm also just fine for rolling with the same deck the whole tournament and living or dying by this decision. Hopefully not dying though. Spider-Man to move them or me out of White Hot Room seems interesting. Like I could fill the location and move out with Spider-Man as my final card. A bunch of Khazars. Ooh. That's nasty. Nobody wanted that one. Oh gosh, we really have to drop our increased cards now because if we get Mirror Dimension on another sandbar, why are you snapping? Playing the same damn thing I am. I guess you've got a little bit of info here with Howard. Oh, maybe they're about to win White Hot Room this turn. Yeah. Alright. I don't feel like they were necessarily about to win the White Hot Room, but if they do, it's just so terrible for me. So I feel like I do kind of have to leave that one, unfortunately. Alright, this one I'm fine with staying in. Unfortunately, Uatu doesn't give me any info when it's generated by Arishem. But I like my hand here. Oh, they've got the turn 1 Loki. That's why they snap. Well, then I'm glad I didn't put Cassandra in. Cool. Scar does not work with Mockingbird anymore, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Just drop down Agent. Uatu is basically useless in Monster Metropolis, but I just played it to get a cheaper Mockingbird. Ooh, Jean Grey is interesting. Because they have almost filled this location up. Okay, Shang-Chi is actually a game winner here, isn't it? Because it's going to allow me to win Monster Island after my opponent fills it this turn. War Machine means that I don't have to care about Jean Grey at all, and then can freely play around. So I've won Monster Island, and I can win another location here. I think we snap back. Because they need like a pretty specific card to get out of this location. And... oh, okay, Venom. That is not what I was expecting, but that is still a juicy Shang-Chi target. We could roll a Professor 50-50 this turn. And it's not really a 50-50 because I have War Machine. So as long as they don't play War Machine, then I'm kind of gassed in a particular location. I feel like playing it in Metropolis is good because they can't play a 6-drop this turn, so they probably will continue to not play a Metrop. And I'll win this 10-0. Okay. They play for it, but I still have Scar and Mockingbird. Okay, Red Skull. So, Mockingbird ties it. Yeah, we're just going to be Shang-Chiing in Monster Island on the final turn. I think that means I want to make my Mockingbird as cheap as possible. Maybe I do something like this. I feel like this is really tough to lose with. 11, 19 over here. Yeah, this seems good to me. I mean, they could play my War Machine this turn. But with just Shang-Chi, I'm still looking good over here, even. Okay, they do have the War Machine, though. So now Shang-Chi ties it here. But they need to play to Monster Metropolis. They don't need to play that much to Monster Metropolis, but they kind of still need to play something. And then this wins this location. I think this is very winnable for them, considering how much I have to commit over in Monster Island. And their cards cost 1 less, so if they wanted to play like Nick Fury... I don't know, Nick Fury plus Legion doesn't do it. Nick Fury plus... They can also just play anything into this location, but no, we're playing Mockingbird here. So they play Blob for 5, plus Agent Coulson here, plus Blob. Ties, and then I do think I win on differential. Let's send it. They played for Monster Island.
Must be controlled.
But are they ever beating Mockingbird? Oh, Enchantress to take out their red skull is nice too. But Fastos doesn't beat Mockingbird. So there we go, 8 cubes. Against my better judgment, we are just rocking these 8 cube games. This was at least game 2. But, yeah, I'm feeling sick, so I'm just riding it out for 8 cubes. And it looks like it's working half the time. 50-50, baby. Turn 1 Quinjet is not bad at all. We also have the War Machine for the mini lab. I think I want to battle for Prio, but maybe I don't. Definitely accepting this snap. I'll battle for Prio. Maybe find Alioth. Ooh, is it a Quinjet mirror or a Loki? A Zabu. A Zabu. I'm not mousing over any of their cards. I know Purple Border is Arishem at this point, but Purple Border was also their Loki. So that was kind of interesting. Let's just play Agent Coulson here. Do kind of like the Namor to, ooh, Hobgoblin into Necrotia is nice. Yeah, I mean, this seems like game-winning. It doesn't make the Mockingbird cheaper, which is annoying. Oh yeah, War Machine is just really good value here too, isn't it? They're going to have to keep playing to Necrotia. Actually want to get the Hobgoblin in sooner then? Alright, sure. Dakin, I don't think is it. I just wanted to get this in so that way I didn't have to worry about them filling up Necrotia next turn. Don't think that was a huge issue, though. Could play Odin. It's a little bit more points. Because next turn I can play Namor and Rescue regardless. It's not like I can Odin the Rescue in Big House. Especially not if I'm Odining this turn. Alright, I'll just play War Machine here. And then probably just battle for Mini Lab and Necrotia. If we can draw Alioth, that is a huge game. No Alioth. Those feel like they're going to be easy to beat in Big House, though. Could maybe even just do that on the final turn. I think playing Rescue and Namor is just really good because then I've got a cheap Mockingbird too. Something like this seems pretty good. Black Bolt makes me lose my Morb. But that is not a card I was super inclined to keep anyways. And Copycat's a pretty great draw here too. Because now I can play Mockingbird and a cheap card. Something like Mockingbird, Copycat. It's 9 points over here. Then I'm winning by 15. Currently winning by 10. I could win by 7 more, winning by 17, or I could tie it up and play for differential. I don't think I hate that either. I do think I should play for this location because the bonus points are really useful. If they have Blob, do they ever just beat this? Probably Blob into... Well, they'd have to Blob into Mini Lab, right? And I'm currently up by 6, and then what did I say? 15, I'm up by 21. Yeah, they'd have to get a pretty big Blob. I think this rides. They did go for, I think, a Blob in Necrotia, which helps me if it's a differential game. Oh, it's Valkyrie. Valkyrie, nice, to flip the Hobgoblin over. So they win by 1 in this location, but unfortunately not going to be enough. Was a differential game, and they did not put out more points than I did. So that's GG. Probably want to hang on to Maximus here. This is a big hand, though. Definitely looking to draw Quinjet and not Nick Fury. Okay, Utopia does not benefit me yet. I guess it makes Nick Fury a live draw. Jeez. I don't see how I win Mojo World. I guess with Magneto I could. Oh, maybe Magneto sneaks a Mojo World win. I feel like I'll hang on to Maximus for one more turn, maybe. The later you play it, the less punished you get from it. Alright, Magneto is no longer out in this location. Sinister London's pretty good for me. If we're going to make him draw with Maximus, might as well make him draw with Maximus, right? Turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, and 6, we played a Sinister London. That fills the location and gets me the most possible value. Agent Venom. Right, well, this still triggers my Red Hulk this turn, which I like. It's just a matter of, are they going to have the Shang-Chi or not? I don't know, I feel like I'm just playing a Hulk and then Red Hulk the next 2 turns. This gives me more options. Not that I'm like super likely to be able to act on more options.
Squad's still a little light.
Then continuing to just not play though feels like it has to be reasonable for me. Okay, there's the snap. Arnim Zola on Red Hulk has some interesting applications. I mean, I feel like that means they drew the Iron Man with Agent Venom, which I just can't interact with other than going super big. They did draw most of their deck before they drew the Agent Venom, though. Before they played the Agent Venom, rather. I really don't like my curve here. Whatever. Let's Red Hulk. Do they have the Iron Man, and are they willing to play it this turn? Oh, they've got Sarah. Oh, that's also pretty big. So now they could play Iron Man plus Mystique here. That could be really strong. If I play Arnim Zola here, it lands here. Yeah, I'm never winning in Mojo World. So I feel like this is kind of risky. It kind of really doesn't do anything against a lot of their draws. Sarah means that they could be playing Shang-Chi as well. At which point they only have to beat 12 here. Or they could tie it and then win on differential. So I do just straight up lose to Shang-Chi. I feel like Invisible Woman and Sarah kind of speak to Shang-Chi. So let's retreat.
Escaped.
Got a little bit of info there for our cubes. And they really did not get any info about my deck other than Arishem Nick Fury. Okay, now we can be the Invisible Woman player. They're going to get our Nimrod. We will get their Shang-Chi. Okay, so they did probably have Shang-Chi in the last game. I think dropping a turn 1 Invisible Woman is fine. Oh, wow. Project Pegasus. I feel like that's snap-worthy because they didn't have Sarah. I feel like this puts a lot of pressure on them, too. Could even play the Nimrod here, though they do kind of know about it. Sure, I'll still play it here. Potentially tossing priority is good. Alright, just one cube, just one cube. That's all they're gonna give us. One cube and no information. Either side. Oh, actually, that's not true. We know they have Shang-Chi. We gained information. Ooh, that's good. Okay, and neither of these are my real Mockingbird. Created by Arishem, created by Time Theater. So if we could draw some cheap cards, play like a triple Mockingbird game, that's pretty sweet.
What are the odds?
I like that. One more cheap card, please. Oh, that's a bummer. That's a definite bummer. We're going to turn that off. Especially if we get something good here. No, it's got to be this then, awkwardly. Mix every location into Time Theater. We're just going to draw a bunch more Sabertooths, which is not good. But Mojo World also isn't good for me. This allows me to drop 2 Sabertooths next turn and then drop 2 Mockingbirds the following turn. Rogue, eh? Created by Time Theater. So we know that they still have a rogue in their hand, which is interesting. Oh, we actually draw both the Sabertooths there. I didn't realize that's how that worked. So if I play 2 Sabertooths, then my Mockingbirds cost 3. So I won't be able to go Mockingbird plus Alioth. I'll just be able to play 2 big Mockingbirds. But this is not a good card for them. I think we snap. I think that puts a little bit of pressure on. I don't love my position here, but I think that that's some good pressure. Foot on the neck, as Anthony Starr would say. So getting a free cube in a game that didn't look great feels good. Maybe we could have played it out for an additional cube, but I still like the spot. Ghost is actually a really great card against them, but they could rogue it. But I've got Ghost plus Valkyrie, which all seems really cool. Do have to watch out for the Rogue. And then I also have Enchantress for the Sarah, potentially, which I'll just roll a 50-50 with on turn 5. Okay, cool. Black Vortex for my dagger seems good. And then Quinjet. I think we're snapping here. Could have just never played into Black Vortex and really tossed priority. It's going to be hard to Valkyrie the Bishop. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, I think I lose this one now, right? I have to retreat. Yeah, okay. That's unfortunate. That was a big 6-cost card. Wow, okay. I guess that's why you don't snap before the RNG location plays out. Swordmaster to toss either Iron Fist or Deathlock is totally fine right now. If we can sneak a Legion into Morag, we are looking good. So that's a reason to hang on to Iron Fist. So I will. Alright, I think we win Asgard too. This is not a deck that battles for Asgard. I feel good. I like that Swordmaster discards a card and gives me a better Nick Fury too. I think this is a snappable position. Cool. Tied up 6-6. We have not seen Shadow King yet from my opponent. I'll probably dodge the Great Portal so that way I've got a chance to play Giganto there though. So let's just Angela there so we can Coulson. Coulson it next turn. And then we've got a pretty good curve out from there. As long as these locations don't totally bone me. Cool. Great location to have developed an Angela. Double Giganto, actually. Lockjaw and Darkhawk. Not super useful. Playing Giganto into Invisible Woman is a little sus. So I play this here. That means next turn I could go Quinjet plus Mockingbird. Sure. Could also go Quinjet plus Enchantress or something. Ooh, they hit my Lockjaw. That's really interesting because that means now I don't have to worry about that RNG aspect. I kind of don't hate that. I'm not sure that I'm playing another card into Stark Tower though just this second. Oh, I could just disrupt their Invisible Woman here. I mean, I can't really disrupt their Sarah with any regularity. And I like playing Quinjet here. That way if they rogue it, I get the Washington, D.C. bonus. Sure. Sure. Oh, I probably should have snapped here.
Enchantress.
We're just gonna willingly take priority from my opponent. Though we were potentially battling for it for a moment there. So the other thing that I'm just eyeing up is like, how cheap can we make Mockingbird? We can play 2 cards this turn, so that way next turn we can play Giganto plus Mockingbird, which is pretty cool. If that's the case, I mean, Negasonic here always wins this location, so it's pretty good. And then is it just Darkhawk in DC? Darkhawk just giving them a rogue target, though, does seem kind of terrible. Maybe final turn I play Giganto plus Gambit then. Alright, I like Giganto plus Gambit. I'm snapping here. We've pretty effectively played around Shang-Chi. We've won Stark Tower, and we've got 2 big plays on the final turn. So I like that. The Gambit is pretty likely to hit in Stark Tower, though, because they've got 3 cards there already. But I don't think they'd ever play to Stark Tower this turn, except for the fact that they do kind of want to not have priority. So they could have played to Stark Tower here, but I think we beat most things in Stark Tower now. And I feel like we beat most things otherwise as well. They could very well just Shang-Chi here, so playing the Gambit here seems fine. I don't like that I have a predictable amount of points here, but I guess I still lose to Shang-Chi here, because they would have 10 power. So let's just play this here because it's a little bit more interesting. Sure. Final turn, unless they retreat. But I'm all in. Praise be to Arishem. We got a Gambit game. That's always fun, too. Shout out to Gambit Game. Check that out if you have not already. Link in the description. It's like a reality show similar to Survivor or Big Brother. Played it on Zoom about 2 years ago. And it's all edited. It's just all on YouTube for free. It's a version of the Korean game show The Genius with some slight twists on the games. I feel like we put a lot of power on the board this game. Okay, they put some cards out too. Could be Shang-Chi. They actually played for Stark Tower. Nice, that's a really big hit. Mysterio, Hit Monkey. Okay, we know. Okay, that's why they played here. Oh, they do have the Shadow King. Nice, so we tie in Stark Tower. They're gonna rogue the Quinjet, which actually gives me more power. And that was the Mysterio clone. We get it done. Little bit of metagaming call, I guess you could call it, but Desmond recently just came in second with a Darkhawk deck in a tournament that I covered here on my channel, and I do not feel like playing Arishem into that, so instead I'm going to be trying Silver Surfer as a sort of last second pivot, and we can see that my opponent is actually now playing Arishem. Well, I have a lot of good tools here. And I'm going to deny myself a card draw, which is a little bit awkward. So I guess I won't snap just yet. But they are indeed not playing Darkhawk. They are a fellow dirty Arishem enjoyer. All right, I deny myself a draw because of the Vibranium instead. I think I'm just going to throw the Vibranium here. That gives me a chance to play Brood and still have a Wong location, which I think I'm interested in. Iron Lad is going to give them Uatu. And that looked like a real Uatu. I do think we snap while my opponent has no clue what I'm playing into Kamartaj. I'm a little bit fearful that this magic will be too will be disruptible, and that's a potential way that I lose this game to like a Legion on magic. Ooh, they're gonna cable and take possibly like my Wong Mystique and Hazmat, some really interesting cards for me. But I still have Silver Surfer Absorbing Man on the final turn of the game, and I'm hoping that that could just be enough. Oh, I actually have Wong as well. So then I actually have next turn Brood, turn 6 I'm going to go for Cage Silver Surfer, and then turn 7 Odin, hoping to just dodge a Cosmo. But I'm playing Silver Surfer on turn 6, that way even if they do have a surprise Legion, no plays this turn. Wow, that's actually a big surprise. Oh, I could play Mystique. That is such Cosmo bait. I mean, I think I need to battle for priority at least a little bit. I think if I don't have priority, I risk just losing to Alioth. Right now, I still don't have priority, so I'm not super... Oh, they skipped for Infinite. I'm still a little bit afeared that we could be tossing priority here too much. How can I get priority back? If they play Alioth here this turn, I can never get priority back. So right? How does this work for me? No, I never have priority like this. I mean, they do have the Olympia draw, but they also denied themselves some draw with the cable. I have 0 cards in my deck, right? Yeah. So they have my Hazmat plus my Ironheart. I'm just afraid of Alioth. I don't think I can ever beat Alioth, though. Whatever. Quinjet plus Ironheart. Wow. So if they have the Alioth this turn, then they still get me, which is annoying. I'm dropping 6, 7, 8 power here. They could just Blob and Kamartage, and that beats me too. Wow, I'm just losing to everything. I shouldn't have played around anything then. I should have just gone full combo if I'm still losing to Blob. Could maybe beat Blob here. Is it worth 2 more cubes to battle it out? Yeah, let's go for it. Blob. Dang. Yeah, I can never beat Blob. It was just bad play. I'm just rusty or coming in sweaty from my walk here. I mean, it's just an excuse, but I had no business losing a Kamartage game. Man, that's dumb. Unfortunate. Alright, now we did keep Odin, Mystique, and Sarah as secret cards from my opponent. But now we're just behind the 8 ball here. Okay, Grand Central's interesting. It actually just has a lot of potential to grief me, though, too. But Sarah is pretty cool. I don't think I ever need to run out Hazmat here, especially since I have the Luke Cage. The Hazmat could be pretty important. Alright, need to draw Brood or Magic right now. Oh. Yeah, I guess I could play Wong now. Also draw the Brood, though. So I'll play Brood because next turn I can play Wong, and this gives me additional time to find Mystique, though I'm always playing Sarah on turn 5. I'm always playing Sarah turn 5. And I probably do just play Wong here, hope to draw Mystique next turn. And let's just snap. Okay. I should have capitalized on Kamartage. That's still going to make me salty, but this is a good snap here, and I'm back in it mentally a little bit, you know? Don't focus too hard on that game 1. Silver Surfer plus Wong. Do we just snap immediately? Well, probably not into Panopticon. They're snapping on Panopticon. If we can rogue their Quinjet, though, which I feel like might be the play here next turn. Oh, not even next turn, the turn after that. Still. Okay, it's a cable, actually. Ooh, double boosters. You'll love to see it. Okay. Agent Coulson, cable. They are building a squad here. Ooh, Castle Blackstone's not great for me. Don't think I'm ever going to be able to take that location over yet, especially not against a Black Panther. Magic is good. Magic also turns off Castle Blackstone, which feels pretty important. And probably more important than turning off Panopticon. Panopticon pumps up my broods, so, like, it's fine. I should have looked at their Blob last game to potentially get some info about what's in their deck. Okay, this just tells me Alioth, but confirmation on Alioth is still nice. I might be going Ironheart, Silver Surfer, Odin. Now that I don't have to play around Alioth here. Do still have to worry about Shang-Chi. I should have checked the Blob in game 1 too. I was tilted. But let's snap to Wong. Mystique is a really good draw if they haven't stolen that. If they did steal the Mystique, then they stole a card that they didn't know about. Okay, they stole the Brood. So they already knew about that one. So Mystique is still in the deck here for a potential huge turn 6. No. Okay. So then I think I just have to go Ironheart, Silver Surfer. Next turn, Odin. I could also play Hazmat, Absorbing Man. That might actually be more power. Silver Surfer when I only have 1 3 here, but 2 3s here. No, I think this is still better. Ironheart's still nice. Yeah, okay, it is a Legion. I think that means I just lose another 4 cubes here. Oh, Panopticron's also a lot of power in every location. Yeah, what if I had Hazmat Absorbing Man here? Would have given them minus 12 here. Still wouldn't have done it though, right? Drat! Oh, and that's everything. Okay, alright. Fair enough. GG, Desmond. Tried to switch decks at the last second and just I think the big thing is I was like fearful. I mean, I was fearful of the anti-Arishem plays, and then once I switched decks, I was fearful of the anti-Silver Surfer plays here still. So fear did me in on this one. All right, this is the final round today. If we win this round, then there's a chance that we make it to next weekend. Not even guaranteed, but it'll come down to some breakers and how well our opponents did, which we had some good opponents. I should say they were all good opponents, right? Because they're all fellow content creators. No shade, no shade. I just meant we had some opponents that played well after, or like in games that we didn't play against them. Discarding their Iron Man with Nidavellir. Oh my gosh! That's snap-worthy. That is such a huge hit there. I have to snap. That's incredible. Then if I can like Jean Grey, I know they have Kitty, but I feel like Jean to make them have to play here is reasonable. I don't know. I was just so excited. I felt like I had to snap there. Maybe also Jean, and then I don't know. My plan is to Shang-Chi Nidavellir as well, but that might not work out. Let's just play Captain here for now. Okay, they slow retreated. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, discarding one of their best cards and getting a free Proxima Midnight is kind of insane. So that felt snap-worthy to me. Let's see if Arishem can continue to deliver more than just 1 cube for us. Craven is interesting. If we can get anything destroyed, then we can Phoenix Force it. Not sure how we can get much destroyed, though. I think I'd probably just start off with Quinjet here. And Quinjet is just snappable by itself, too. What do they have? A Kitty Pride again? Yep. So no new info. Iron Man into Stark Tower is going to be really good. Iron Man into Necrotia is going to be bad. Magneto could also be solid. Oh, and then there's Magneto Kraven. Okay. Maybe we just Phoenix Force here then? Just to kind of curve out a little bit. Still nothing. You're not giving me anything here, Felicity. Krakoa's a nice place to blob. Which now means I'm not really looking to Kraven Magneto combo. I could still Kraven here and then Magneto here next turn. I feel like that's not super likely to even... Ah, they're snapping to Krakoa. I mean, they could have Shadow King, they could have Shang-Chi. Probably just means they have Iron Man for Stark Tower, potentially alongside Bast. I'm just going to play Kraven here, though. And accept the snap. Thena plus Kitty. Okay. Nothing crazy. I do feel like we've lost Stark Tower, but playing there makes them, keeps them honest. I could just straight up play Magneto into Krakoa. How's that bad? It's not, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. They're using their Krakoa play this turn. So what's that going to be? Cassandra. Ah, okay. Okay. Well, that's definitely a snap-worthy card from them. Especially Cassandra into Krakoa. That is quite strong, because now they just got another Cassandra. So we probably are looking to retreat here. Blob's awkward because it gives up more information. And they have priority, so they're going to Cassandra me before I Blob. Or no, they're not Cassandraing again. I was thinking about Absorbing Man, but that's not what they have. They just have a card with the Krakoa stats on it. So they just have a card with plus 20. Just, you know? Just a 21 power Bast. No big deal. Plus Sage over into Stark. Iron Man is going to be nearly impossible to beat. But if I draw Shang-Chi or Shadow King, kind of in the game. Yeah, so... Only kind of, though, really, right? I kind of like playing here because then I pump up my Dazzler as well. This is the easiest thing for them to answer with, like, an opposing Shadow King, so maybe I go for something like this. No, they can't really Shadow King me here. But I think Shang-Chi blows up Thena as well, right? If we blow up Thena and Sage, we're looking good in Stark Tower. This is a sketchy play, I think, across the board. But I think I'm going to go for it. If they have Cassandra in their deck, I don't like playing a whole bunch more games anyways. Cosmo is not going to protect them from Dazzler. And Mystique on Cosmo, wow, they played around Shang-Chi in the one location, or in the two locations that I did not play Shang-Chi in a surprising Dazzler win. Thena does pump after, but Shang-Chi gets the cubes. Nicely done, Shang-Chi. Against double Cosmo. Some big information there as well. We see Mystique, Cassandra. What does Mystique indicate other than Cosmo? I guess it's just Iron Man, right? Well, it's really big to get 4 cubes against a Cassandra deck and be up 5-10 here. Against a Cassandra Cosmo deck even. Because they are going to be looking to protect with Cosmo going forward, which means we're looking for a turn 5 Shang-Chi play, but we're also looking for turn 5 Blob. All right, well, maybe we'll be able to take priority then in some other capacity. Silver Sable. Obviously, we know they're playing Agent Venom. There it is. And I think I knew about one other card in their deck, potentially, but I'm not thinking about it right now. Oh, this is kind of cute. Sentry also makes a -5 power void. Should that be relevant? But I don't think it's going to be. I think we will just be morphin here. And the next turn, I'm hoping White Tiger can take priority for like Alioth into Shang-Chi or something. But right now, we're just morphin. Cassandra. Yeah, alright. Well, then I might just play Shang-Chi next turn. I might just play Shang-Chi right now. They're snapping with Cassie. How likely are they to just Cassandra immediately to protect it? I think somewhat reasonably, but it's worth it for 1 cube, I believe, to then be able to play Blob next turn and Alioth on the final turn of the game. Let's go for it. Nope, they've got it. That's a Cosmo, baby. All right. So they've won that location. I could technically get a White Tiger there for 11, and then I'm very, very close. But still, that seems a little bit sketchy. I feel like it's Blob, and then it's like maybe Green Goblin Sentry into Atlantis. Let's try that. Okay, Claw, which means they're no longer going for the Atlantis buff. But they're going pretty hard on Sewer System now. If they just drop their hand into Sewer System, that's not great for me. If my plan is to Green Goblin them at that location. We haven't seen Shang-Chi or Shadow King, but those are very, very possible cards. They could also just get up to like 15 here. I could see Mystique coming down here, a 4-power Mystique. Huh. This is not that powerful. Because this doesn't even beat Mystique. So I think we have to retreat here. Death's Domain. While I have a way to win that location and they don't, seems good.
Oh, snap.
In for a penny, in for a pound. We also have the Shadow King for Cassie. What do they have here? Oh, Bast. Okay, they're just destroying their own Bast. I'm going to hang on to the Colossus for a second. It's a little bit of a mistake if I draw Mockingbird, but it's good against Morag. So they're now very limited locations this game. If we can Hobgoblin them into this location, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Blob over here is good, and then Shadow King seems good either way. I'm going to play the Colossus now, though. This does give away a little bit of info here. But I do think I want to start playing my cards. Especially because I had a 4-cost card and a 5-cost card and a 6-cost card to play. I mean, the other option is hold Colossus for the very final turn of the game, which is good too. And they could have a location change effect. But I'm not going to play around that. I'm just going to hope Colossus can take it and that they don't. But they could have a spicy card here for me. I do have priority this turn, which is nice. We beat out a Cosmo. But it's the Kitty Pride again. Oh, Kate Bishop could allow them to squeeze into Death's Domain. Which means, do I want to hold something like Yondu Blob into Morag for the final turn? I think that's possible. I mean, I can go Sage Shadow King here, which I like. We're kind of battling for every location right now, which is good too. Alright, let's hang on to Yondu. Just give me some flexibility with Morag. If they can pull Claw into Death's Domain, that's really good for them. So we could see a Claw into Fisk Tower this turn. That would be a pretty amazing play. No, Iron Man. Okay.
Iron Man.
Currently a pretty weak Iron Man. We could dodge the Iron Man, play around the... dodge Iron Man and play around Grapple Hook is kind of interesting. That's the play. I mean, I'm hoping to hit Sage. I'm just assuming they're going to make a big play here in Fisk Tower, so just dodging it completely. But maybe I just make them... I think Iron Man's a throw-off play, and we're winning this location right now anyways. So let's go for it. I think they've got Claw plus Grapple Hook. That's like the only thing that's good here. And if they, even if they have that, like, it's not that bad for me. Or if they don't have that, I mean, I still think we're good because I'm winning in Fisk Tower still. I don't know. I'm not wording this correctly, but I think this is good enough. Play 2 cards, pumps up Thena, but high Evo beats Thena even, and Sage of course beats Thena. That's a bunch of cards. That's Kitty Pride. So this does look like it's a grapple, but is this enough points in Morag? It's grapple on Iron Man? No, it's grapple on Kitty Pride, but we beat that and we win in Fisk Tower. That's exactly what I was hoping for. A win in Death's Domain and a win in Fisk Tower because of the negative power on Iron Man. Nice, nice.
Victory.
It seemed really tough for them to come up with a play that wins here and wins here. So now we are up 8 cubes to 1. We just have to win one of the next 4 games, and we are 4-2 and potentially moving on to next weekend. Tiebreakers are going to be an issue, of course. Sure. I think I'll battle for Sacred Timeline, considering I've got Madam Web. We aren't making a play for it next turn, and my opponent's deck is really good at battling for Sacred Timeline if they want to, but Kitty Pride isn't a good start for that. Sure. All in on Sacred Timeline, why not? We're going to discard the Black Cat again, so that part's cool. Oh, they will actually get to fill it this turn if they want to as well. Oh, or they could skip. Huh. Wow, well this just got really interesting. Sacred Timeline isn't that big of a deal. I guess I'll just skip. Who cares about Sacred Timeline? I mean, we can still both grab it this turn. I do think I want 6s from Coulson more than I care about other stuff. More than I even care about the free yellow jacket, potentially. That's all I'm really getting here is a yellow jacket plus an additional Madam Web. Maybe I just do this then. Yeah, who cares about Sacred Timeline? It's kind of just a trap, right? I think I'm probably losing this game, though. I just haven't done anything super impressive. Huh. What if we try to mill them? They can't do anything with Nick Fury. And then I could play Master Mold into Machine World next turn. It's actually pretty annoying for them. If I don't draw a good 6. If I draw a good 6, I'll just play that instead.
Who they dig up this time?
Maybe I should have done that this turn, actually. That's what I was thinking. Like, we're just going to give them a 4-3 if they play Bast here. Which is really not that good. Just give them a bunch more junk? I don't see why not. Sure. Jubilee gives me Enchantress. And then what do they have here? Iron Man? Yeah, Bastard Iron Man is good. Yeah, let's just battle for every location. Sure. If they have Claw or Mystique or Cassandra, we lose, but no sense in retreating. Just got to win one of the next 3 games if we lose this one. Don't want to get too cocky either, but I feel like numbers-wise, it'll just play out for us eventually somehow. Is this a Claw? Yeah, Claw into Machine World's good, plus Kitty Pride for 3 is not quite going to beat me in Machine World, so Ultron gets it done there, and we take Felicity out. So with that, I am 4-2, and potentially moving on. Tiebreakers. It's awkward when this is what it comes down to, but this is the current standings going into this round. So there are 8 players here. Well, I'll say 7 players above me, plus 8 that are a lock. So if these players all got paired up, if KK is versus Ankh, if Ricky's versus Tucker, if Hannah's versus Prashan, and I'm versus Felicity, then half of these players will have 20 points going into next round. All of these players are already likely locked in, especially because their breakers only improve for the most part. I guess Husky does have pretty terrible breakers here. So that's interesting. We might be able to edge out Husky, but I'm in the top breakers of 15 pointers going into this round. So if we say, like, well, we want Andy to win, but we say, like, one of these 2 makes it in, one of these 2, one of these 2, one of these 2, that would make sense to me for the top 12. So right now, I think the numbers are looking good for me. But of course, like, I'm cheering for Desmond, I'm cheering for Andy, and I think that might be it. So I'm kind of sweating this out a little bit. It doesn't really matter, you know, I can't influence how this is going to go at this point, but Husky Puppies won. I was kind of rooting against them because they had a lower breaker than me, and the rest of my opponents also, so Desmond lost, Andy won, but then Robitussin and Chaos Pro are playing against each other, which means it's going to normalize, but actually get slightly worse because I played against Felicity as well. So overall, this is going to go down, and the question is it going to go down more than the winner of this game and the winner of this game goes up? And that is very, very likely that I could get beat out by Canadian Alfredo here on tiebreakers because their opponent win percentage goes up here more, or just enough that mine goes down. Like, this is very close, and this is going to go down a little bit. So assuming that theirs can go up a little bit, which is totally out of my control, who Canadian Alfredo has played in these first rounds, we can take a look at it to see who that was. So that was KX4N, who lost. Okay, that's good. Canadian Alfredo played against Gregor, who I believe is no longer in the event. Yes, okay, so Gregor's out. What about round 3? Canadian Alfredo played against... Oh, I think the round might have just ended. Sabille X. Oh no, that was this round. Something updated there. Round 4. That does kind of throw another wrench into it, though. Round 4, Canadian played against Paper, who I did not see. Where's Paper at? Looks like Paper also dropped. So right now, they've got a lot of opponents that dropped. Seems like it might be good. Let's see their last opponent here. Livy B. I did not see that name either. Livy B also lost. Wow. Okay. So I think I'm going to improve, or I'm going to go down less than Canadian Alfredo's goes down. If we imagine mine drops to like 47 and theirs drops to like 45, that would be good. We would just need for Dexter to not rise too much in their match against Zombies Go Nom Nom. We could do the same thing for Dexter. I feel like that's a little bit not as useful. But if theirs improves meaningfully, it is certainly interesting. They all kind of like equalize at about 50% though, and Zombies looks like they're probably out considering how much lower it is. But yeah, this is going to be tight for sure. So fingers crossed. Whoo, baby. So here are the final results. Here are the top 10. Can I scroll down just a little bit more for the 11th place? And the 12th place? Nice. You had to get top 12 to get in. Not sure if I said that previously, but that's why 12 was such an important place. And then Dexter and Canadian Alfredo, as predicted, did have a lower percentage than me. But that was very, very close. I'll see you next weekend.